Flosstubers. My name's Shawnna Miller, and I thought that I would introduce myself real quick. I've been watching you all for about, I don't know, through the fall while I was stitching on a project that I had put down many years ago and picked up so that I could get it done for Christmas. I'm married. I have 6 kids. I work for a media measurement company. I'm a profiler, and I like to do lots of different things. I like to garden and cook and raise my chickens and oh gads, sew, paint, fix things. Yeah. So I like to do a little bit of everything, and I had cross-stitched as a teenager and into my early married years, and then due to some problems I was having with my arms and just kind of got out of the mode, wasn't too crazy about the fabric that I had available to me at the time, I quit stitching, at least cross stitching. I embroidered and have embroidered for years. I went and picked up my mom in the fall. She is staying with me for 6 months, and I'm totally thrilled because I get her for 6 months all to myself. I don't have to share with my brothers and sisters, which as the oldest child of 5 kids, I always shared my mom. So I love that when I get her all to myself. And she and I have the same interests and lots of the same areas that we like to do things in. And so it's been really fun having her here. And while I'm at work during the day, she has been watching all y'all Flosstubers on YouTube. She calls it YouTube University because she learns so much. And I came home after she'd been at our house for a couple of weeks, and she said, "Shawnna, you have to see these people. You're gonna love these people." And so we have been watching you through the fall and Christmas and just thoroughly enjoying every single minute of it. We love listening to you. We love listening to you, what's going on in your lives and how your projects are going. And we love listening to Fiber Talk. We have a date on Friday night with Gary and Vanna. And we listen to the podcast during the week. And I've been listening to all of the past Fiber Talks and catching up while I'm at work. And so it has just been great fun. And it's like Christmas every single day because I get something new out of every single video that I've been able to watch. Like I said, I hadn't cross-stitched for years. As a teenager, this was, believe it or not, I actually kept it. This is the little kit that my mom gave me, and it used to be in a picture frame, and at some point the picture frame got damaged during one of our moves, and so I took it out and just stuck it in a box with all of my other unfinished projects that need to have something else done to them. And this was, again, one of my little beginning cross stitches back when I first cross stitched. As you see, it also ended up in a box. And then when I got married, I moved into doing more of this type of deal because I really loved quilt blocks, and I love quilting. And I like this kind of oatmeal colored Aida. Never was very crazy about the cream Aida, but we have learned how to fix that. Here's another piece that I cross-stitched a long time ago. I saw the date on this, and it's 2000. I had stitched it for a friend, and before I got it done, she moved away, and so I finished it, and I was always going to hang it up, and it ended up in a box. When I had each of my kids, I cross-stitched them these little birth samplers, which for a while were in picture frames, and I have a stack of them. Because I have 6 kids, and so I have those. And this was probably one of the last things I cross-stitched, and I loved the piece, but again, like I said, I wasn't super crazy about I'm not crazy about the Aida, and it was, I think, a 14 or 16 count, I don't remember at this point, and I could go back and maybe I will do full coverage on it and then hang it up. But that was back during the late 80s, early 90s, before, like, kind of when the internet was coming around, and at the time I'd moved on to other crafts. I stamped and scrapbooked for years and got into that and did demos at conventions and all that good stuff. And so I didn't pick up my cross stitching again because it got replaced. And then a few years ago I started doing wool work because I like to applique. I don't know why, but I do. And some of the pieces that I applique, these are just little table mats. This is my little hydrangea one, which is very fun because, like I said, I like to embroider, and now we're doing embroidery and wool, which I love because I love the way wool feels. Here's my little one that I had out at Christmas time. I haven't packed it away yet. The little cute Santas. They're very cute. These were flowers, if you didn't see. Sorry, that was kind of quick. They're fun. And then my mom and I did this piece, oh, I don't know, it's been several years ago, with wool from Woolly Lady, say that 10 times, because they have such fun colors, and that was one of their patterns that they had, and so we got that to do. And then this one I finally finished, and this one took me forever, not because it was hard, but because I got down to where I was putting it together and I was missing like 8 of these tabs, and they're just cut from an old army blanket that my mom had, and so she brought me out the last 8 tabs, and yay, project finished. And so now it's in my living room, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. And like I said, we watched you guys in the fall, and the more I watched you and the better I felt about the world in general and kind of feeling a need that I needed at the moment, I decided to go in and I dug up my daughter's stocking, which was the item that I'd started, the project I started years ago, and I'm almost embarrassed to show you this because it looks really, really, really bad. Here's the pattern. It's kind of worn, definitely loved. I had made copies of it, thank goodness, and apparently when I couldn't find the copies, I just carried the original around. But I actually finished her stocking by Christmas and then filled it up with little goodies. And so that made me really, oh, you know, top of the world, I finished it. So I was super excited, and I can't remember whose design it is. It was a kit that I had bought, and I'm sure you've seen it because it's not like it's super original and I designed it myself, but it turned out really cute, and she was so ecstatic at Christmas time that I had finished her stocking that I had started when she was in high school, and I think she's 24 this year, 25? Oh, yeah, 25. And so that was a very fun thing. And so, like, I'm back in the cross stitching thing. I love it. I love my embroider. It is beautiful, and it fills a different, it's just interesting in a different way. But as we've watched you guys, we have really, my mom and I have really gotten into the different things that you guys have been into. And I'm sorry, but you guys have enticed us to do all kinds of bad things because I bought more cross stitch stuff like I needed it, because I have so much other stuff. I might have to do a little de-stash. And we have taken our Ada, because we had some Ada left from who knows when, and we dyed it with some tea and coffee, and that was fun. And then we took this piece and we dyed it red, and that was fun because we adjusted it several times over the course of the evening. And then after I finished my daughter's stocking at Christmas time, we drove up to Shepherd's Bush, which is in Ogden. It's about an hour and a half north of where I live. Next time we'll take the train. It will be a lot easier because their shop's only three blocks from the track. And as I walked into the shop, it was like, oh my gosh, we're in stitching heaven, because it's just floor to ceiling, jam-packed with different stitch items, different stitch patterns, samplers, pillows. I mean, you name it, they've got it. And so while I was there, I went up to the counter and was talking to the girl. We'd been talking to her as we walked in. And so I went up and I saw behind her there was a Santa Claus that was stitched on a piece of fabric on the wall. And it's like, oh my gosh, I love that. And so I bought it. It's a Twin Peaks primitive pattern. And there it is. See, look at that cute little Santa. He's adorable. And the sleigh. And the sheepy. Oh, he's just fun. And so she had stitched it not on this brown fabric, but she had stitched it on, it's called Stormy Night, and it's a Belfast linen. And so that's what I did. That was my goal between Christmas and, oops, I've got a needle stuck in it still. Christmas and New Year's was to get the little Santa and the sheep done. And I made some changes, you know, changed out the color because he's pumpkin colored in the pattern, and I didn't care for that. And I made some changes in the little quilt. Not too horrible. There's the original. And I made it kind of looks like little flowers. Like once I stuck the green in there, it's like, oh my gosh, it looks like little flowers. And so I did that, and I used some sparkly. But this was my first piece on linen, and oh heavens. Yes, now I'm in love. I love the linen. I love the feel of it. I love the look of it. Yeah. So I have to say that I'm very much in love with linen. And so that got done between New Year's or Christmas and New Year's. It had a couple little things because I realized yesterday my mom's like, doesn't he have reins from the sleigh to the sheep? And so I did put those in. So now that is done. And I had meant to put this video up last week, but I had to go steal my daughter's stocking back. And so that was my little glitch in my life. But I have just, yeah, I can't stitch enough. And I feel so much calmer, like everything's right with the world when we stitch. And so for 2020, I've set some goals, and I've been busy bagging up some projects. And so one of the projects that I bagged up is I have this little project. This is a kit that I also bought at the time when I bought the one for my other daughter's stocking. And this is for my other daughter. And apparently I started it, and this is as far as I got. And so one of my projects for 2020 is to get her stocking done. And this will be entertaining because apparently whatever threads came with the kit, I have lost. And it doesn't say what colors to use. It just says, you know, red, pink, purple, green, brown. And so I will be figuring out what colors I need to finish her stocking. And so that is on my to-do list. And then I have watched all of you putting your projects in very fun bags as you've been kitting them up and working on them. And I love the idea of project bags because I love that they can be the same size and that they zip and that I can file them. Like that appeals to the organized side of me so much. But it would also be 20 more bags, more projects that I had to make. And so my mom and I went to my mom, who I tried very hard to get to come on with me, but she says she's only coming on if she can put a bag over her head. She has Graves' disease, and it has caused some problems with her eyes, and she doesn't like how they look. And so she refused to come on with me unless I let her put a bag on her head. And maybe I will at some point, because I think she's delightful. She has been stitching as much, probably more, because she stitches while I'm gone at work. She stitches and she quilts. And so when I come home at night, she has these little samplers all done up, and she's like, this is what I tried today with this, and this is what I tried today with this, and this is how this turned out. And she got a fanny stand the other day, a lap stand to use in bed, and I bought her a light, one of the Bright Tech lights that has the magnifier on it. So she's been using both of those and trying different things. And you know what? I am so proud of her because her stitching is beautiful. And to learn something new and different at 78, to me, is amazing. And it's also kind of funny because whoops, sorry, I kicked a piece of glassware that's sitting on the floor. When she watches y'all, she says, you know, I must not be as ignorant as I thought I was, because so-and-so said that this is what they do, and that's what I've been doing for, you know, X amount of years. And I think it's just because she's been around a long time, and she's always been a sewer and a crafter. And so she's done a lot of different things. And so those things aren't new to her, but she is excited that everybody else is finding them. Anyway, side story. So we went to DI, which is kind of like Goodwill. In fact, we went to Goodwill too, and they had these tote bags, which is just a black tote bag with a handle. And I thought, oh cool, look, a black bag. I'll stick my projects in there because they're flat. See, they're about that big. And then I picked it up, and on the other side it says this, which, yeah, not so cool. Doesn't appeal to my eye as beautiful. It may be true. Porn isn't cool, but it just is going to get covered with something lovely. Maybe some wool applique. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll take some of my old cross-stitching and sew it on the side of the bags. But anyway, so I've been putting my project in all of these different bags that I got from DI and my random purses that I had around the house, and then just putting a little tag on it. And so one of the things that I have kitted up and have been working on is this Plum Street Sampler. 100 Ways, which I love because it's, sorry about the glare, I don't know where you can put it. Yeah, it just gets worse. It's a Jane Austen quote, and so I thought that was very fun. And when I was, oh no, what did I do with it? I had it here this morning. Here it is. And when I was going to stitch it, it calls for a piece of linen that is 32 count in the pink, which I just could not locate. And because I was impatient and didn't want to wait, we tried dyeing some linen, and it turned out this color, which is very pink. And then we tried this color, which is also very pink, just a different shade of pink. But they're both, like, they're the pinks that are in the pattern, the threads. And so then I tried one of my cute little bags. I think it's a Clinique bag, small enough for me to carry back and forth to work. And so then I tried this, and I took the dye and I cut it in half, which the dye to begin with was only like a drip of dye in like 3 cups of water. And so now my pink it's literally just barely pink. I don't even know if you can see that. There's a lot of reflection. So we'll have to work on that. But I did get this much done this last week. So this is where I'm at. I'm getting the words in there, working on the borders. That's what I did last night when I was tired because it's been a long week. Not really loving the linen that it's on. It was a piece that I had bought at Joann's, and it's very, very see-through. And so we're being really good about tucking in our ends and not having traveling threads. So that's one of the things that I'm working on and I hope to get this done before summertime because I want it for a present. So that's one of my projects that I'm working on. It's in this silly little bag, if you care. Then I have this bag of goodness, and I'm working on the Village by Country Cottage Needlework. I'm sure that you've seen their patterns. They're all over. Lots of people have done them. When I saw them, I loved them because I love little tiny houses. Yes, I really do have a glare. Anyway, little teeny tiny houses, and I'm going to put them on one sheet of piece of linen. And so I got the suggested fabric, which was a Belfast, which has little sparkles. Can you see the sparkles? They're so cute. And then I started with the church, and that's how much I got done this week. And I've been stitching with my hoop. Like I said, I have some arm issues that just kind of are annoying, and so I use that. But I've got that all kitted up with the recommended fabric and threads. And I have all the little patterns in here because I love the little houses. Love the little houses. So adorable. Very cute. And I'm using the recommended threads, which of course I cannot remember. You would know them. I know them because I've read about them and talked about them and listened to y'all talk about them for months. And they are the Classic Colorworks. Sorry. Could not for the life of me pull that out of my brain. And so I've got that in the works, and that is very fun. Then one of the other things that I started, and I actually haven't started it because I could not decide what to do it on, is I I joined Jacob DeGraff's Stitch Along, and so I'm working on that. And so there's the little, see the little sampler? So you get a little pattern per month, and I'm loving that. I'm very excited. I haven't started because I can't decide. White, alabaster, white. Yeah, white, alabaster. Yeah, I can't decide. And so that's where I'm at, is trying to figure out which one to do. What I would like to do is maybe stitch the border in like a dark charcoal gray, and then use a color palette that, you know, works with that. Something calmer than what I would normally choose, which is super bright colors because I like color. Yeah, so I need to get busy because only two more weeks in the month, 3 weeks. Yeah, so hopefully I will get something done on this week. This week, I think I've kind of decided to go with the gray because I need that piece of white for another project. Because while I was on Jacob's site, the Modern Folk Art embroidery site, I saw this, which is his summer kaleidoscope, and I love it. In fact, I like all of Jacob's works. There are very, very few that I don't like. I think they're beautiful. I think they're beautiful, and the sayings that are on them are just tender, and yeah, I just like them. So I would really like to do this kaleidoscope on the white linen, and I'm kind of thinking about doing something kaleidoscopy, and I want it to be bright and fun and cheerful. So we'll see if I can pull that out of my hat. And so that's what I'm working on right now. I've got those all charted up. I've got a bunch of other things that I have. Oh, I will show you one more because I'm going to start it. Oh, yeah, I really have a lot of choices here. I can't decide. I'll show you this one. So this too is a bag that I got at Goodwill. See the sparkly pink? Love the sparkly pink. I know it's silly, but I love it. And when I saw it, it's just like, it's mine. It's coming home with me. It's totally mine. And in it, I put it my blingiest project. And it is Mirabella's Sleeping Princess. Because that is me. My bed is soft and squishy, and I have 9 million pillows so that I can sleep comfortably and get my body to a position that works for it. And yeah, yep, there can't be a wrinkle in the bed. There can't be a crease there. Yeah, I can feel everything. I don't know why. It's just everything's overactive. And so I've got that all kitted up with the flosses, have the little beads, and I got the fabric while I was up at Shepherd's Bush. It is Beach Walk, 32 count. And so, I mean, I even know where I'm going to put this. So I'm very excited. So I hope to get that done this year. And so those are the things that I am working on right now. And I hope that you enjoyed this and that you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit and see what I'm working on. And I look forward to seeing what you all are working on and keep on learning like I've been learning. Yeah, I have learned so much in the last few months, and I'm so happy about it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and maybe we'll see you again. Okay, thank you. Bye.